All right, what do I think of same-sex marriage? Really important question, and I think N.T. Wright is probably right when he talks about the idea that the church oftentimes starts at the wrong place. The church oftentimes kind of starts talking about physiology and getting into all the kind of sexual and gender issues and that kind of stuff, which is really important. But as he talks about, we got to start with the Bible. And when the Bible unpacks the idea of sexuality and marriage and gender, what it does is, as he points out, is in Genesis chapter 1 and 2, it starts out with all these binary realities. There's dark and there's light, there's water and there's land, and all of these opposites that climax with man and woman in a garden getting married. And so there's this theme all the way through the Bible. And then, of course, in Ephesians chapter 5, Paul talks about the idea of a man will leave his mother and father and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. And then he says that this isn't just about marriage in a sense, but it's about Jesus and the gospel. He says, Jesus left his father and was united to his wife and became one flesh with her, his wife, the church. And then, of course, the whole biblical story climaxes in Revelation 21 and 22 with Jesus at a wedding, and he's the groom, and he's marrying his bride, the church. And so holding on to the male-female aspect really comes down to marriage as a parable of the gospel to the world. And when it becomes two of the same gender being married, that whole symbology that existed all the way from Genesis chapter 1 all the way through the last chapters of the Bible is lost. And so I think we root the conversation first and foremost in the biblical story and the authoritative story of redemption to find our way through the whole question of marriage and gender. And even if you talk to J.I. Packer, he talks about that the reason he left the Anglican denomination he was a part of, when they said, okay, we agree with same-sex marriage, it wasn't so much about getting into all the physiological issues, though that was important. He says it was a Bible issue. It was, we've now abandoned the authority of the Bible to define these things for us, and ergo, I have to leave. So I think starting at the Bible is the most important thing, and then flowing down from there and understanding marriage as a parable to the world for really a picture of Jesus and his relationship to the church.